Oops. Can't get. This light's really bright this evening. It's definitely having an effect. Maybe it's too light. I have a switch. Okay. One, two, 1, 2. Let's try and lower my phone. Lower my phone notifications because they really freak me out when they. Why is it not working? Oh, let me just go in. Which one's media? Oh, this one, notifications. Hi, Laura. My ear's itching. Keeps itching. I like this light. I really like it. It's nice. I can be seen, all my spots can be seen highlighted under the glaring light. I'm worn out. I'm run down. It's called run down when I find it hard to eat lots of fruit in winter. I find it really off-putting to have fruit because it feels cold and I don't want to eat it in winter. So I feel run down. I have a spot on my lip here. I feel run down. So I must try to have more fruit and drink more fruit juices and stuff. Have some vitamins. I really enjoy homeschooling at this time of year because you're able to work with the season and, do less activities and be more at home and take it easier. I really like that. Stay in your pajamas in the morning or all day if you want to. We all really enjoy that about homeschooling. It's great. Anyway, welcome to the stream. What do I say? Yeah. So I do these streams most Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and most Sundays at 10 a.m. and that's UK time. I try to do them every week, but I can't sometimes make it due to being tired or busy or whatever. So just check on Facebook. Yeah, so I do these streams through YouTube, my YouTube channel, and they're free, and you watch through YouTube and you ask questions through Skype, either written questions or you can ask to call in. Be aware if you do call in, which you're welcome to, if you do call in, just be aware that I have language difficulties. So if you could take your time and Be okay with not rushing, and allowing the nervousness or whatever it is to be there and to subside on its own. That would be lovely. And that's through Skype. And it's all down there in the box below the video screen. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. So I'll just sit for a little bit and let the introduction come, and then yeah, you can ask questions. So I've called this stream becoming alive, and I just sit here like I'm dead. Oh, I'm really hot. The reason why I called it becoming alive. God. Is because that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Um, so what do I mean by that? Can I explain more? I shall try. I feel totally lost for words. So it feels like this instrument, machine, whatever, this body mind, this animal is alive, like more alive than ever. Will sound really crazy. Like it's so beautiful though. Like it's integrating all the parts of this animal. So all the parts, seeming parts of the animal are being integrated, and so therefore it feels alive, fully alive, alive, like an alive animal. Like, rather than having these separate parts of the character, so parts of being a woman, being black, being autistic, being this, being that, being a mother, being whatever it is. Like, it's integrating. It's integrating. It's integrating all of it together. So this can be all things. It can be all things. God, did you hear that? So normally you have to present yourself as a particular thing. You have to be something. You're this or that. But this is like a full integration of the human character. No longer segmented off. I'm not really sure if this is spoken about in non-duality. I can't think of the speakers that I went to, whether they discussed this at all. Maybe some did, I'm not sure. Maybe I couldn't hear it at the time or didn't ask those questions at the time. Or maybe they just didn't speak about it for whatever reason. But that's what's happening here. And so there's speaking of it, expressing it of it. And I can only assume that that this is an effect of this collapsing of this claimer, the collapsing of this holder on the collapsing of this filter that life is happening to someone solid. But this isn't happening to someone solid. This life, this fullness of life, the character isn't owned and happening to someone. There isn't someone being this role or being that role. There isn't someone owning conditioning of this kind or of that kind. It's just happening as part of this experience of this life. So the freedom isn't about you or that character becoming a perfect character, that character healing all of its issues. The freedom is beyond that character, beyond that human expression. The freedom is a collapsing into this moment, a collapsing into what is happening, where you disappear. This idea of you in relationship with life disappears, and there is life appearing, life happening, life as it is. And in that appears a character, appears a human with qualities, with conditioning, with roles to play, with ideas. But it's no longer being held as a permanent position, as a reality, as someone looking through. So all these talks they aren't talking about a freedom, a personal freedom, a freedom for you as a character. They are pointing to a freedom that is in the thinking, in the experience as it's happening, in the emotion, in the upset, in the anger, in the joy, in the tears, in the movements of life. And this is where freedom is. It's not moving. It's not changing. It's not appearing and disappearing. And yet it appears as those movements, as those changeful appearing and disappearances. But it can't be moved and changed. It can't be found. It doesn't belong to this world of appearances. And yet This world of appearances can't appear without it. So this is home. Here. Here, in what is happening. And so in this, the human becomes alive. Life itself, it's alive. What you are is alive. It's flowing and breathing. It's being. And duality is so amazing. I couldn't. Can you swear on here? I don't know if you can swear or not. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you hear and interpret it to be about. I was just thinking about I used to love non-duality's radicalness about this being it. It was so, I loved it because it was the end. It was like, oh, and finally it's the end. It's like the final thing. And so I was so attracted to that radical, this is it. It was like the end of that seeking, the end of craving, the end of this search for home. So I loved it for that. I loved it, and I still do love it for that. But at the same time, this other part that is moving and changing and growing. So there's this still part, and then there's this moving part. Oh, it's so beautiful to hold both, or to, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to communicate about both. It really brings tears to my eyes. It really does. That it really brings tears to my eyes. Like life won't allow just this. Life will keep banging to show there's also this. You can't avoid this moving, this changing, this. You can't stay in this. It won't let you. It won't let you. Emotions and things will happen to show you can't. Life has to live. It has to be full. It's full of everything. And then this, you can't just stay in this because there's no wisdom. There's no like freedom or like constant. You need this, so you need this, and you need this. And it's beautiful, but both together, it's beautiful. It's unknowable, that by the mind. It has to know this or this. It can't hold both. It can't deal with that. It can't deal with that. It wants to have definites, and it wants to know intellectually, whereas this can't be known intellectually. The mind's only an aspect of this. It's an appearance in this. So then this isn't about acquiring understanding or acquiring a knowing of this. That's the natural assumption of the mind. We can learn non-duality, we can learn the words, we can learn what it means, we can learn it and then know it. But that won't do it for you, knowing this. It's an energetical thing, which again frustrates the mind because it can't get it. You can't make it happen. So what is here beyond the intellect? what is here before the mind labels it as this or that, before the mind interprets it. What is here before language, what just is. But it doesn't give the mind anything, this. And that's why it's not fulfilling to the mind. This, what is. It doesn't give it anything to feed off. But this is freedom. Not the mind, this. That can't be pinned down to language, to names, to qualities, to an image. That which needs nothing, but is all things, is all qualities. So you can send questions in, or Laura, if you want, it's best to send questions through Skype rather than Messenger. Let me go online on Skype. So there are no questions this evening. Last minute. Last minute question. Hi, Heel. Hi, I have no idea what any happening really is. Is that what you try to say with using both hands? Both hands. I think I was trying to say about the emptiness and the fullness, the stillness and the movement. I was trying to demonstrate that. This is the movement. This is life happening. And this is... It's hard to describe it because it's hard to like, we try and use analogies, but it's hard to, because this is this moving, but it's also not moving. So it's like, it's hard to do both, but it's, yeah. So yeah, that was the hand thing. Yeah, I have no idea what is happening either. It's just happening. I have no idea. Of course, language we say, sitting in a room, we say looking at a wall or a computer or out the window, we say these things, language, but I have no idea why this happens. Life just happens. It's opening the eyes in the morning, there's thoughts that start, the brain starts up, memories come, ideas come of the day. Life just happens. Life just happens. We believe we can find a reason or a meaning or an answer to it, and then be satisfied. Oh, that's why this is happening. But this, in a way, is the discovery of there not being that answer found in that realm of things, in the intellect. Non-duality is pointing to this being the answer. Life is happening. Anything else is just, what's that word? Conjecture? I don't know. Everything else is just ideas, beliefs, opinions. This is it. This is it. That can't be intellectually believed. It can be, but it's not going to be satisfying just believing that as an idea. It's like life has to rip through you in some way. It has to rip through you. I love this message so much. It's so amazing. Yeah, I couldn't say what is empty and what is full. I just don't really know what any happening is. It's been a long time. I just passed by. Yeah. Yeah. It's like an exhaustion happens of that seeking, an exhaustion of trying to find the answer, of trying to find why or what this is. Gradually, an exhaustion starts to happen of this whole thing of seeking. Doesn't mean it stops, but there's just what happened. There's an exhaustion from this identification with the mind and its loops and its search to find God, to find rest, to find the end. How is this new? Yeah, but how do you know it's empty or full? How can you know anything about what any happening really is? How do you know it's empty or full? How do I know it's empty or full? It isn't that I know it's empty or full. Sorry, I'm a little giggle. I'd laugh a little bit. It isn't that I know it's empty or full. It isn't that I know it's empty or full. It just is that. It just is that. Like knowing is a movement that comes and goes. It isn't coming and going. It just is empty and full at the same time. It just is that. And it's difficult to understand because we're so used to knowing something's being the ultimate. If you know it, then you know it is true. But knowing isn't such a real thing. Knowing is a moving thing that changes. Knowing isn't the ultimate. So knowing it is irrelevant. Knowing it's not it. It just is that. It just is that. And it isn't known. It is that. It just is that. The rest comes after. But you call it empty and full. If you don't know what it is, why call it anything? I don't know, it's just speaking that's coming out. Like, I speak and say, this is a computer, this is my hand. It's just speaking coming out. Like, it's how we communicate. Language is a part of being human. I don't know why that is either. Just the way it is, the way it appears in the morning. There's thoughts that appear. Why does it appear? I don't know. It just does. Why does language appear? It just appears. Talking happens. Looking happens. Hearing happens. I don't know why. It just does. Life is happening. Why call it life? I don't know. It's just called life. We just use these words. I have no idea. It's just the way it is. It's like saying, well, why speak at all? I don't know. It just happens. Okay, so you don't know it's empty and full, but it is. So you don't know it's empty and full, but it is empty. Is that different to what you asked earlier? I'm not sure. You don't know it's empty and full. It comes out there, but it's not known. I'm not sure what you're trying to ask. Like, I've answered that question. I'm not sure what you're trying to get to, deeply, what you're trying to ask. But I do feel like I do feel like you feel like there's someone in here speaking and thinking and choosing. That's what I get the impression you feel like. If you don't know what life is, how can you say it's empty and full? I don't know what this is. I don't know what it is. But I can say it's happening. And I can say it's free. It's free of, and it's just free. It's not limited. Although it appears that way, it's not limited. It's empty and full. It's empty and full. It's just happening. And it's freedom. It's free. But I do feel like you feel like there's someone in here. That's what I feel like. You feel there's someone in here who's choosing these words, who's choosing these thoughts, who believes this or believes that. And that you're angry. I feel like that you're angry as well. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm picking up. That you're angry and frustrated. And you want to say that I'm wrong. And that you know better. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Okay, so thank you for your question. Okay, thanks. I just don't know what really happened. No, I wouldn't know what somebody would. No, I wouldn't know what somebody would be either. Oh, is that it? So you're still writing something, but you've stopped. Thanks for your question, Heel. I had one question today, so thank you. I appreciate getting some questions. So thank you for joining again, and back on Sunday at 10 a.m. So, okay, bye.